Welcome to Free Coding Academy's videos on Python. This is part 2, math operations. So first up, we have conversion of data types. So implicit conversion is when data is automatically converted from one data type to another. So if the value of an integer is changed to a decimal number, it is implicitly converted into a float or decimal number. Explicit conversion is when the programmer intentionally converts the data to a certain type. So when you are using input and then you're taking in an input, the user input is read as strings. But if you want to perform math operations on numbers, you need to convert them from strings to numbers. And for that, you can use these functions. So if you have int, and then inside the parentheses, you're inputting anything you would like to convert, that converts it to an integer. If you have the float function, and then inside the parentheses, you're inputting whatever you want to convert to a float, that converts it to a float. They're pretty self-explanatory. And if you have string, and then inside the parentheses, you're inputting whatever you'd like to convert, it converts it to a string. Next, mixed type expressions. So when an integer and float are combined in an expression, that produces a float. Floats are printed with at least one digit after the decimal point. Next, division using the division bar always produces a float answer. So here's an example. Num1 is equal to 5.0, so it's a float. Num2 is equal to 6, so it's an int. If you have print and then num1, so that's 5.0, and then times 6, which is an int, that's 5.0 times 6, that gives you 30.0 as your answer because it's an int times a float, so your answer is a float. Next up, we have rounding. So the function round takes two values. The first value is the number to be rounded. The second value is the place to which the first number should be rounded. If the second value is left blank, the first number will be rounded to the nearest integer. So here we have num is equal to round and then 5.462, comma 2. So this will round 5.462 to the second place as 5.46. Next, we have num is equal to round 5.462. So this is going to round 5.462 to the nearest integer as 5, and this is because the second value was left blank. Therefore, 5.462 is automatically rounded to the nearest integer. Next, we have division. So true division is when using the division bar for division. So the numbers are first converted to floats, which means decimal numbers, and then they are divided. So for example, if you have 5 and then the division bar 2, that becomes 5.0 divided by 2.0, so that becomes 2.5, which is the answer that you would get if you were just doing division regularly. Next, we have floor division, and this is when you use two division bars for division. And it computes the number of times you can divide evenly before a remainder is left. So for example, if you have 8 and then the 2 bars, 3, that's going to be equal to 2 because 3 goes into 8 2 times before you have a remainder left over. Next, you have modulus. So using modulus finds the remainder after division. So for example, if you have 8 modulus 3, that's equal to 2 because 2 is the remainder when you divide 8 by 3. Next, importing the math module. So a module refers to code that is already written in Python that can be imported and used in a program. So the math module contains useful functions for math operations. To import the math module, there must be an import statement at the start of the program, which can just look like this, import math, that's it. Next, we have math module functions. So if you have math.pow and then it's taking in two values, x and y, this is going to raise x to the power of y. Next, you have math.square-root and then x. This is going to give you the square root of x. Next, if you have math.pi, that is going to return the value of pi. Next, math.log x, that's going to return the natural logarithm of x. Next, math.log x, comma base, that's going to give you the logarithm of x with the given base, whichever you enter. Next, math.ceil and then x, that's the smallest integer greater than or equal to x. Next, math.floor x, that's the largest integer less than or equal to x. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and please be sure to check out the video for part 3 next.